Sophia here, and before anything else, let me ask you something gently but honestly. Have you ever felt the moment when someone realizes they made the wrong choice, but it comes too late? This energy is heavy, quiet, and deeply emotional. It doesn't come with loud apologies or dramatic actions. It comes in silence, in late night thoughts, in the ache of knowing they let something real slip away. If this title caught your attention, it's not by chance. This message found you because your energy is still living in someone else's heart. The cards speaking in this moment are the Lovers, the Five of Cups, and Judgment. Together, they tell a story of choice, loss, and awakening. Someone chose another path, another person, believing it would bring them more happiness or peace. At the time, it felt right to them. But now, reality looks very different. What once felt exciting now feels empty, and what they walked away from, you, feels more valuable than ever before. Sophia feels strong regret energy here. This is the kind of regret that grows quietly over time. They replay moments in their mind, small memories they didn't appreciate when they had you. Your words, your presence, the way you cared, it all comes back to them now, especially when things go wrong in their current situation. They are starting to see the truth they avoided before. There's also a deep moment of realization happening. They are questioning their decisions, their timing, and their pride. Judgment energy shows an inner wake-up call, a moment where they can no longer lie to themselves. The question that hangs in the air is simple but heavy. Can regret turn into action? Or has the door already closed? Stay with Sophia, because this reading is about what they feel now, what they wish they could change, and whether time has already answered the question they're too afraid to ask. The Lovers comes forward first, and its message around this topic is deeply emotional and very personal. This card is not just about love or romance on the surface. It speaks about a choice that was made from the heart, or at least what they believed was the heart at that time. When they chose someone else over you, it wasn't a careless decision. It was a moment where they stood at a crossroads, believing they understood what love meant. But the Lovers reveals that true understanding often comes after the choice is already made. In this energy, they didn't just choose another person. They chose an idea, a promise, or a feeling they thought would complete them. At that moment, they may have convinced themselves they were doing the right thing. The Lovers shows how strong attraction, temptation, or emotional confusion can blur judgment. They followed what felt intense or easy instead of what was deep and real. Now, looking back, they see how pure your connection actually was. This card also speaks about alignment. With you, there was a natural harmony that didn't need force. Conversations flowed, silence felt safe, and there was a sense of being seen for who you truly are. They didn't realize how rare that was until they stepped away. The Lovers shows that your connection was based on truth, not illusion. That is why it still lingers in their heart, even when they try to move forward. Regret tied to the Lovers is quiet but powerful. They compare without meaning to. They notice the differences in how they feel, how they are treated, and how they show up emotionally. What they thought would be better turned out to be incomplete. The card reveals that love chosen for the wrong reasons eventually exposes itself. And when it does, the memory of you becomes stronger. There is also a strong inner conflict here. The Lovers represents duality, and right now they are torn between what they chose and what they lost. Part of them wants to accept their decision and move on, but another part keeps pulling them back to you. They question whether they followed desire instead of truth. This inner struggle keeps them restless, especially when they are alone. The Lovers also tells us that with you, there was honesty and emotional openness, even if it wasn't perfect. With the other person, things may feel surface level or forced. They are realizing that chemistry without emotional depth fades quickly. Your energy, on the other hand, still feels alive to them. It still feels like home. This card does not rush forgiveness or reunion. It simply shows awareness. They now understand that love is not just about choosing what feels good in the moment, but choosing what grows with time. They see that you offered something real, something that asked for maturity and emotional presence. At the time, they weren't ready for that responsibility. The Lovers also reflects how this regret is teaching them a lesson. They are being forced to look at their values, their fears, and the way they run from deep connections. Losing you made them face parts of themselves they avoided before. That realization alone is heavy. At the heart of the Lovers is truth. And the truth here is simple, but painful. They loved you more deeply than they admitted. and they didn't understand that love until they chose away from it. Now they carry that knowing with them. Whether or not anything changes outwardly, inwardly, they are no longer the same. The choice they made changed them, and the memory of you remains the measure they compare all love to now. The Five of Cups comes in heavy and emotional, carrying the weight of loss, disappointment, and deep regret. This card speaks directly to what happens after the choice has been made, when the noise fades and reality settles in. In this topic, the Five of Cups shows someone sitting with the consequences of choosing them over you. What once felt exciting or promising now feels empty, and the feeling they can't escape is sadness mixed with self-blame. This card shows them focused on what they lost rather than what they still have. They replay the past in their mind, especially the moments they took for granted with you. Small things, your voice, your patience, the way you showed up consistently, now feel much bigger in memory. The Five of Cups reveals regret that grows quietly, not all at once, but slowly, day by day, as they realize what can't be easily replaced. There is also shame in this energy. They know deep down that they hurt you, and that awareness makes it harder for them to reach out. The Five of Cups is not loud with apologies. It is silent grief. They may appear fine on the outside, but internally they feel the weight of their own actions. They question themselves often, wondering why they didn't choose differently when they had the chance. This card also shows emotional isolation. Even if they are not physically alone, they feel alone emotionally. The connection they thought would fill the space you left hasn't done that. Conversations feel shallow, comfort feels temporary, and there is a constant sense that something is missing. The Five of Cups tells us that loss has taught them a painful lesson. What they walked away from a depth they can't find again so easily. Regret here is tied to comparison. Without meaning to, they compare their current situation to what they had with you. The more they compare, the clearer it becomes that your presence brought them peace, not just excitement. The card shows them turning inward, reflecting on how different life feels without your energy grounding them. The Five of Cups also speaks about timing. They didn't feel this way immediately. At first, they believed they had made the right choice. But as time passed, cracks appeared, promises weren't kept, emotions weren't met, and slowly the truth revealed itself. Now they stand in the aftermath, emotionally drained and unsure of what to do next. There is also a sense of regret over words left unsaid. They wish they had communicated better, been braver, or more honest with you. The Five of Cups holds the pain of, if only they had listened, if only they had stayed, if only they had understood what you truly meant to them. These thoughts repeat in their mind, especially during quiet moments. This card does not show immediate action. It shows processing. They are still sitting with their emotions, still trying to understand how they feel and why. The sadness is real, and so is the remorse. They are beginning to accept that they played a role in their own heartbreak. At the same time, the Five of Cups gently hints that not everything is completely lost. Even though their focus is on regret, there is awareness forming. They are learning from this pain. Losing you changed them emotionally. Whether or not they can fix the past, they now see love differently. The Five of Cups reveals that choosing them over you didn't bring the fulfillment they expected. Instead, it brought emptiness, reflection, and longing. Your absence became the lesson, and now they carry that regret quietly, knowing that some choices can't be undone, only understood once it's already too late. Judgment arrives as a powerful and life-changing energy in this topic. This card is not about surface-level regret anymore. It is about awakening truth and a moment where they can no longer avoid what they feel or what they did. In the context of choosing someone else over you, Judgment shows the point where everything becomes clear. The excuses fall away. The lies they told themselves stop working. What remains is raw honesty. This card speaks of a deep inner call. Something inside them has been stirring, pushing them to look back, to reflect, and to take responsibility for their choices. Judgment shows that they are reviewing their past actions, not just with you, but with love in general. They are asking themselves hard questions. Why did they run from something real? Why did they choose comfort, attention, or fear over truth? These questions are not easy, but they are unavoidable now. Judgment also reveals remorse mixed with clarity. They are no longer confused about how they feel. They know they made the wrong choice. They see now that what they had with you was meaningful and rare. This realization hits deeply, especially because it comes after loss. The card shows an emotional wake-up call that changes how they see themselves and their future. There is also an urge for redemption here. Judgment energy often brings the desire to make things right, to speak truth, or to clear the past. They may feel a strong pull to reach out, explain themselves, or even confess how much they regret their decision. This doesn't always mean action happens immediately, but the urge is there, growing stronger as time passes. Judgment also speaks about timing. This realization could not have happened earlier. They had to experience life without you to truly understand your value. They had to feel the emptiness, the disappointment, and the regret shown in the Five of Cups before reaching this point of awareness. Now, they stand at a crossroads again, but this time with open eyes. This card brings awareness of consequences. They understand that even if they want a second chance, they may not deserve it. They know they hurt you, and that pain cannot be erased by words alone. Judgment shows them accepting that some doors may be closed, and that accountability is part of growth. This acceptance is painful, but it is also transformative. Judgment also reflects inner rebirth. Whether or not they come back to you, they are not the same person they were when they left. Losing you forced them to grow emotionally. They are becoming more honest, more aware of their patterns, and more conscious of how their choices affect others. This is a soul-level lesson for them. There is also a karmic feeling around this card. Judgment suggests that this connection was meant to change them deeply. You were not just someone they loved, you were someone who awakened them. Your presence, and later your absence, triggered a shift they could not avoid. That is why thoughts of you keep resurfacing. The connection still calls to them because it carries unfinished emotional truth. Judgment does not promise reunion, but it does promise truth. It shows that they now see you clearly, without illusion. They see the love you offered, the patience you gave, and the depth they failed to appreciate. This realization stays with them, shaping every choice they make going forward. At the heart of judgment is acceptance. They accept their mistake, they accept the loss, and they accept that growth sometimes comes through pain. Choosing them over you became the moment that changed everything. Now, awakened and aware, they must live with that truth, whether it leads them back to you or simply teaches them never to make the same mistake again. When these three energies come together, they tell one complete emotional story, from choice to loss to awakening. This is not a light or casual connection. This is a soul-level lesson that unfolded through love, separation, and truth. At the beginning, there was a decision made from emotion, attraction, and confusion. They believed they knew what they wanted. They believed choosing someone else would bring clarity or happiness. But what they didn't realize then is that some choices don't reveal their meaning until much later, when the heart is forced to sit with the consequences. The connection with you was real, deep, and meaningful, even if it wasn't always perfect. It carried honesty, comfort, and emotional safety. But instead of honoring that, they were pulled towards something that felt easier, exciting, or validating in the moment. That choice created distance, not just from you, but from their own truth. At first, they tried to move forward confidently, telling themselves they did the right thing. But time has a way of stripping away illusions, and that's when regret slowly began to settle in. As days passed, the absence of your energy became louder. What they gained didn't replace what they lost. The connection they chose started to feel empty, unstable, or surface level. And that's when comparison began, not intentionally, but naturally. They noticed how different things felt without you. Your presence had given them peace, understanding, and emotional depth. Without it, they felt emotionally alone, even if they weren't physically alone. This realization hurt deeply because it came too late. Regret became a quiet companion, not dramatic, not spoken aloud, but heavy and constant. They replay conversations in their mind, remember moments they didn't appreciate, and feel the weight of words they never said. There is guilt here too, the guilt of knowing they hurt someone who truly cared. This guilt keeps them silent at times, unsure if they even have the right to reach out. They are stuck between longing and shame, missing you while questioning whether they deserve forgiveness. Then comes the awakening. This is where everything shifts internally. They can no longer blame circumstances, timing, or other people. They see clearly now. They see that they walked away from something real. This realization hits deeply, like a wake-up call that changes how they view love, themselves, and their past decisions. They understand that the love you offered was rare, and that they didn't recognize its value when it was right in front of them. With this awareness comes accountability. They know they made a mistake. They accept that their choice caused pain, not just for you, but for themselves as well. This is not just regret anymore, it is growth through pain. They are being forced to face parts of themselves they avoided before. Their fear of commitment, their tendency to chase excitement, or their inability to handle deep emotional bonds. Losing you became the lesson they couldn't escape. There is also a strong pull toward truth. They feel an urge to clear the past, to speak honestly, or to admit what they feel now. This doesn't always mean immediate action, but the emotional pressure is there. They want redemption, not to erase what happened, but to acknowledge it. They want to be seen for who they are now, not who they were then. Whether they act on this urge or not depends on courage and timing, but the feeling itself is undeniable. At the same time, they are aware that some doors may already be closed. They understand that regret does not guarantee another chance. This awareness is painful but grounding. It forces them to respect your boundaries, your healing, and your growth. They know that even if they want to return, they must accept whatever outcome comes with honesty. What's important here is that this connection changed them forever. You were not just a chapter in their story. You were a turning point. Loving you, losing you, and realizing your value reshaped their emotional world. Every connection after you is compared to what they felt with you, because you set the standard for what real love looks like. For you, this combined energy is also about clarity. It shows that the pain you experienced was not meaningless. It shows that your love mattered deeply, even if it wasn't honored at the time. Whether this story leads to reconciliation or closure, the truth remains: you were real, you were chosen at the soul level, and your impact cannot be undone. This is a story of regret, awakening, and truth. A reminder that some choices echo long after they're made. And while time may move forward, the lesson of you stays with them, quietly shaping who they become from here on.